Hi everyone, happy Monday to you. Hope you guys had an awesome weekend and that you are staying cozy warm wherever you are. I know in southwestern Ontario, we are chilly. Today we are going to talk about your body your body as an individual, and how essential oils interact with it. And I get this question all the time, and it's kind of the sciencey part of really what makes our bodies love to heal with plants. Okay, it's why our bodies thrive with great nutrition. Okay, it's why for thousands of years we've been using plants to heal ourselves. So if we have not met yet, my name is Delynn Miller, and I absolutely love to support people who are motivated to expand their health and to up level their health, especially when they are interested in how to use essential oils and plants and to grow their knowledge so that they can boost their overall health and functionality. So I'm not interested in short-term fixes. I am interested in sustainability, and I am interested in changing the culture and how we look at our healthcare. Okay, so that's what we're going to dive into. So if that is not your gig, tune out right now. If that is something that intrigues you, if you think, maybe this girl's a little bit full of it, but maybe she's onto something, keep watching. Okay, because I'm not just talking in generalities. We are all born, for the most part, with the same things that help our body function every single day. Okay, so we're going to talk about, our heart, our lungs, and our different systems, right? Our skin, all of these things. So, I mean, at all, if you are flirting with the idea of any sort of physical relationship at all with natural products, tune on in. So while many brands of essential oils are not recommended to take internally, I specifically speak about doTERRA essential oils because when they are used correctly, they can be extremely effective in helping to manage and balance many internal processes and physical reactions. Okay, so in fact, they have a crazy amount of effects on various systems and organs in the body as well, and can ultimately be used as regular supplements for many amazing benefits. So things that you might think you're just, putting up with, right? That you're thinking, oh, I'm in pain. That's just the way it is. Or my skin gets this way this time of the year. That's just the way it is. Or, oh, the stomach ache that I have after consuming these things, it's only a 1-day thing. So I'll just suck it up, right? It doesn't have to be that way. It does not. Embarking on this lifelong love affair with essential oils is really something that most people don't imagine when they start to use or maybe use their first oil, right? So, bookmark, I'm going to send you guys a link that you can kind of bookmark into your, daily usage. As we start to dive in, right? But we all remember our first time using essential oils. And it's one of those things, and I know for me, and I can only speak on behalf of me, I could never have imagined that my life would be changed so dramatically, and that it would ultimately just make me question everything I thought I knew about my body and about healthcare and about taking care of my family and cleaning my house and all those sorts of things, right? And as a healthcare provider, it was something that, you kind of, you thrive on, right? But as I said, the science of it is definitely something that intrigues me. So let's dive right in. I'm going to have a sip of my tea. I don't even know why I make tea before I do this, because then I just talk for 45 minutes. I don't actually drink it. So I'm going to try to make an effort to actually drink my tea while it's hot. So let's first talk about the circulatory system, okay? The circulatory system is made up, and I'll give you a little back to, grade 10 or 11 health here. This is what's made up of your heart, your lungs, your blood vessels, okay? And they all work in this beautiful harmony to pump blood throughout your system, okay? These organs must interact smoothly in order for your body to function properly. And as such, anything that aids in the smooth operation of these organs is well loved within your body. Unfortunately, we are surrounding ourselves with many things that hinder the smooth functioning of those, of creating a great circulatory system. And I did a post the other day on Raynaud's, and I've actually had so many people private messaging me about this, and just in suffering with this. And, one of my best friends actually has it. And she's been able to link it back to, her nutrition growing up as a kid and as a teenager. And she is, now since then, probably, gosh, the last 15 years, she was vegetarian. Now she's vegan, very plant-based lifestyle. And she can kind of keep it under control through using her essential oils and nutrition. But so much of, from the color of her fingers to everything, right? A lot of the damage is done. But how can we prevent this from happening, and how can you, if it's something that you suffer from, anything with your circulatory system doesn't necessarily have to be your hands, how can you kind of keep it at bay? Right? And knowing your body, what actually does aggravate it. Obviously, it being really cold does not help it at all. Poor nutrition does not help it at all. But how can you kind of help support your body through it, right? So as you can imagine, optimum heart health has many, many requirements, right? It's easy for us to say, oh, got to keep your heart healthy. Well, that is a very long list of how you can do that, right? And one of the things that you want is low blood pressure. You want great activity levels. So I talk about moving your body at least 30 minutes a day, whatever that looks like for you, and having a healthy circulatory system. Okay, so those three things linked together are a beautiful recipe for creating great heart health. Okay. While I've been, we think about this, and again, I talk about how I spend a lot of my time almost teaching unlearning habits, right? Because we've almost been brainwashed that even there's heart healthy medications, and pharmaceuticals and drugs that we've used for years, right? But there's only recently been an increase in the interest of the benefits of things like plants, like essential oils, and how they can serve your body. Again, coming from, healthcare background, we have done amazing things in our healthcare system, but us becoming the most, you look at our cohort as adults, we're the not just the most in debt and obese generation, but we're also the most addicted substance wise, and just unhealthy as a cohort of within North America. Okay, and our healthcare system is not doing very well in adjusting to that. And if we all had a time machine and knew then what we know now, I think we all would have done things a little bit differently. I know I talk to my mom about this all the time, and it's just, but you don't know what you don't know necessarily, right? But we do know that things like activity levels, physical exercise, these are things that can boost your circulation, as it helps the blood vessels contract, right? It helps, it helps them open up, makes them super receptive, and is a good way to help blood flow. Okay, so if poor circulation is something that you suffer from. Activity is something that you are going to want to work in, right? And for me, this is also where my doTERRA products come in, right? So taking essential oils such as cinnamon bark, cassia, marjoram, copaiba, taking them internally may have the ability to actually boost your cardiovascular functionality, okay? So, you know, don't worry, we're going to be talking about that in just a little bit. And again, I have some awesome reading that I will post up for you guys from a blog that was recently posted that I absolutely love. So I'm linking that up in the chat box. But I want you to, I want you to really dive into using those essential oils. So let's talk about cinnamon bark specifically, okay? So the benefits of cinnamon, have been documented for centuries, okay? So this isn't just something that I'm pulling out of my behind, right? So using a special blend of cinnamon oil, this is actually what they were embalming, the Egyptians embalmed people with. So they used it in bath oils, incense, perfumes, but they were also, using it to keep them well preserved at the end of the day. In Indian practices, they've documented it. Cinnamon is still widely used to reduce inflammation, ease joint pain, reduce symptoms of headaches, and ease poor digestion. So again, well documented. I personally like to use cinnamon oil as a remedy for all of those things, and yet, promoting a healthy circulatory system is ultimately the number one way on my list, that it's so important. And for me, my oldest daughter has type 1 diabetes. So this means that her pancreas doesn't work. It doesn't produce insulin. Insulin is the number one hormone that affects your blood sugar levels, okay? So if you are having anything to do with blood pressure, blood sugar, cinnamon is going to be a big oil for you in your home. And I know it is in ours. And I have a blend that I just, I make up, and she puts it on her feet every night. And, I'm obviously not trying to kickstart her pancreas again. But anything I can do to help support her little body, as her body's trying to compensate for the fact that it's not producing this pretty key hormone, right? But using doTERRA's cinnamon bark oil externally is super easy as well. You just want to rub a small amount of it. It is a hot oil, okay? So you want to dilute it, and just put it all over the skin and body for immediate effects. And this, includes helping your blood flow to different extremities, right? So again, if you are having issues with, cold fingers or toes, just rubbing it in that way. And, this is even like, you think of how, even the smell of cinnamon has been marketed to us, right? Like there's a reason that cinnamon oil, or cinnamon is used as kind of the winter Christmas smell, right? Our bodies crave it. I have yet to speak to a person who doesn't love the smell of cinnamon in the wintertime when they're freezing cold, right? It naturally heats you up, okay? Internally is a great way also to include cinnamon into your diet. But if you, again, just adding it to casual everyday recipes, I put some in my oatmeal. I love to drink it in my tea, in soups. I've included ingredients for creating your own winter punch in apple cider vinegar. I've posted this before. Just add all the ingredients together and then simmer, and I will post this recipe as well. I absolutely love it. I'm just trying to copy it here. So this is to a winter cider, and it is It's awesome. You'll absolutely love it. You can hashtag thank me later on that one. So we've talked about our circulatory system, which is kind of a big one. We've now pointed out. Let's now talk about our reproductive system. So, and again, we're going to go through all our different systems, but I know again that this is a big one. And it's not that reproduction hasn't always been an issue. And I know we live in a time where now we speak about these things, right? My grandma never spoke about her hot flashes. She probably never spoke about, a miscarriage or, not being able to conceive or whatever, right? But the fact of the matter is, regardless of what time we live in, we've also been, as much as our bodies are so well adapted. I mean, your body's doing crazy things just to help you breathe and sit up and function right now, right? The human body it's fascinating for sure. And there are multitudes of reactions and processes and healing mechanisms that take place, every second of our life, many of which we barely even think about, right? One of the areas of physical health, which, some doTERRA products are especially good at assisting with, is our reproductive health. So particularly for women, reproductive health is something that requires a lot of balance and regulation of hormones. Essential oils like jasmine, thyme, neroli, rose, geranium are all awesome plants to use as options in order to promote, optimal reproductive functionality within your body. Okay. So again, I'm going to repeat those: jasmine, thyme, neroli, rose, and jasmine. Okay. doTERRA also produces a great phytoestrogen essential oil complex, which is a supplement that you take daily. And this, it's a tablet, and it combines just nutrients and then natural products, including those essential oils, into one product, which makes it super easy to ingest and prepare. So if phytoestrogen is something that you are wanting to try, I suggest you look into the phytoestrogen complex. I'm done reproducing people. However, I still take it every day, and it is a game changer to help with regulating my cycles and the severity of them and all that kind of stuff. So women, whether you are, regardless of what stage of life you're in, whether you are 18 or whether you are, through menopause, your body still needs to be supported through this, right? So just because you might not be showing physical symptoms or even interested in fertility, this is something that can support your body. Now, I mentioned rose essential oil, and I want to talk about it for a little bit, because it is one of those underappreciated. It's kind of like frankincense, right? It's has amazing therapeutic benefits. Did you know that it takes 242,000 hand-picked rose petals to yield 1 5 ml bottle of rose essential oil? Okay, so rose is not a rare plant. However, they're very fragrant, but there's not a lot of essential oil in each petal, which again is why doTERRA only makes it in a roller ball now, a diluted roller ball, and the price point still is what it is, because it takes the right kind of rose mixed with 242,000 petals in one bottle. Okay. Rose is one of the most precious essential oils in the world, and is also one of the most effective at balancing out emotions and mood. Okay. So thankfully, just a drop of rose essential oil creates not just a beautiful aroma, but it soothes away stress, it uplifts your mood, and it promotes balanced hormones. Okay. So for me, I keep it in my makeup bag. So when I'm doing my makeup every morning, I put my magnolia on my wrists. Sometimes, and I've already got my, my beautiful blend spray on, and I take my rose and I give it a big sniff and I circle it right over my heart. Rose is also one that helps you increase your vibration. So definitely, if you are wanting to put a little spotlight on rose, you will not be doing your body, you'll be doing your body good, that's for sure. So moving past our circulatory system, our reproductive system, I want to talk about, because it is cold and flu season, I want to make sure I touch on your immune system. Okay. And this is a hot topic amongst people right now, particularly because, there's so many families that have basically been sick since September, right? It's just recirculating through their house. A healthy immune system is vital for good overall physical health, as it blocks potential threats in the form of, infectious bacteria, toxins, and other external dangers. If your immune system is compromised, your other systems are compromised as well, ultimately. So keeping a strong immune system means, strengthening ourselves to fight against these threats at short notice, right? When they start to come up. So tissues, cells, small organs, they all produce our white blood cells. Okay. And these are central to the main line of defense for our immune system. So you can tell just by your blood work if your body is fighting something. And my mom has quite a few health issues, and she's had a lung transplant, which makes her immune compromised. And, she has to go for blood work every single week. And the second her white blood cells are up, she'll say, okay, I feel good. My body's fighting something somewhere, right? So they're key to really identifying, what's going on with you. The go-to oils for immune boosting include lemon, tea tree, also known as melaleuca, thyme, cinnamon, and wild orange. All of which, minus tea tree and thyme, are in On Guard. Okay, so On Guard is the immunity boosting blend. It's really unique, but it has all of those oils that are designed to boost your immune system. Okay, and whether you were taking them internally, externally, diffusing them, those are ones that you do not want to go without during cold and flu season. And thyme, I remember it was more when I had my youngest that, I'm not sure whether it's the way her throat is shaped, but it's every time she coughs, it sounds really croupy. And I always used to think, oh, Allie has croup. But even on a good day, she could cough and it just sounds very croupy. The second I hear that cough or even a sniffle, thyme, I remember looking it up. I looked up croup and thyme was the number one. So I made sure I ordered it. And, but now I just put it in their diffuser and, you go into their room in the morning and it smells like a bakery in there, minus the bread, just the spices. Because, I've usually got oregano going in there as well and On Guard and, but you know what? It works. Like it works fast. And you ask any of your oiling mom friends, they have thyme on hand. And, a few times a winter, you get people posting about, thyme to save the day. So definitely one of those ones plus On Guard that you want to have on hand. So On Guard specifically, again, is cinnamon, wild orange, and eucalyptus. Really high antioxidant plants they're cleansing, they're purifying, and they're really super strengthening of that immune system, which is exactly what you need. So when you're trying to boost your immune system or give yourself more immune system strength, essential oils are a plant's own defense mechanism against disease. So it makes sense that they would then be our defense mechanism, right? So the essential oils they're in the bark and the stems and the peels of plants. And say that orange falls from the tree and gets bruised or gets cut, the essential oils are going to rush to that area to heal that plant, okay? That's what it does for us as well. If I cut my hand, my immune system is my white blood cells are going to rush to that area and scab it up. But there are various ways to ingest essential oils with the focus on for boosting your immune system specifically and for aromatherapy. So I want to talk about that for just a little bit, because you really want to create this synergy between the oils versus just trying to mask them. When applied sparingly, because remember, the essential oil is the most potent way to use a plant. In fact, it is 70 times more concentrated than using it in any other form. But diluting it or using it sparingly on the bottom of your feet. So your feet have the largest pores, and oils like clove, lemon, eucalyptus, lavender are absorbed into the bloodstream within 20 minutes. Okay, so if I'm smelling them, they're in my brain within 20 seconds. But if I put them on the bottom of my feet, they will go systemic through my entire body, because they are carried through the bloodstream within 20 minutes. And they're to the cellular level within 7 to 24 hours. Okay, so unlike antibiotics that can't penetrate that cell wall, okay, because there's this oily membrane around your cell, and I hear you have a few trillion of those in your body. What do we know about oil and oil is that they mix, right? So if I have essential oils in my system, they're carried systemically throughout my body, they will attach to the oily membrane on each one of your cells and actually penetrate. Whereas you have things like antibiotics that aren't able to penetrate, which is why if you ever have a virus, go to the doctor, say, help me doc, I have a virus. They're just going to send you home, right? Rest, liquids, healthy foods, sleep, more water, right? And that's how you're going to fight it off. You can take things like, Tylenol or Motrin or whatever to mask symptoms until your body starts doing what it needs to do naturally. But again, I believe in supporting your body through it, right? So it's important to note that, it's rare to hear recommendations using undiluted oils on the skin. But those particular ones that I just mentioned, lemon, eucalyptus, lavender, can go undiluted on the bottom of the feet. But diluting them with something like a fractionated coconut oil actually helps your body absorb them too. So just remember, a little bit goes a long way, and your body is thriving off of it. Okay. Lemon essential oil is one of the most potent oils, and is the first go-to when the immune system is compromised. Okay, so just even as a preventative, right? I'm drinking it in my water right now. I started my day with a hot cup of water and some lemon oil, right? Organic lemon stimulates your white blood cells, which we already talked about, is what increases when your immune system is compromised. So organic lemon stimulates the white blood cell production and boosts your immunity against serious infections, including things like pneumonia and the flu, which are crazy common right now. So adding some drops of lemon, oregano, thyme into a veggie capsule and taking this, daily as your body is fighting something, alongside making sure, again, healthy diet, and moving your body to get that blood flow going. Those are going to be keys. Okay. I personally take On Guard daily in a capsule as well. While I'm on the topic of lemon, let's talk about cooking with lemon too. Honestly, any way that I can get On Guard and lemon into my system, I'm all about it. Because as well as having immunity boosting properties, obviously lemon oil is one of the most uplifting and invigorating oils to use, in the home. It stimulates positivity and clarity when it's diffused. I mean, any of your citrus oils, your grapefruit, your wild orange, your lime, lemon it's pressed directly from the peel of the fruit, and it's extremely accessible and really familiar to our taste buds, right? So again, I talked about drinking it in my water, but diffusing it in the air is great. And then, adding it to different, when I'm making like salad dressings, those sorts of things. And there is an awesome recipe that I have for guacamole. So I'm going to post that for you guys as well, because it is so good. Ultimately, it's just avocados, onion, garlic, lemon, lime, tomato, drop of cilantro too. It's so good. So if you are looking, I'm a huge, any way I can take in avocados, right? So good for your brain. Next, I want to talk about moving away from our immune system. I want to talk about our nervous system. So the nervous system is at, the center of all of our body functions, and it is the center of, communication with nerves sending and receiving messages to and from the brain. So this means that a healthy nervous system enables you to think clearly, react accordingly to whatever's happening in your life, and just helps things stay balanced and manageable, right? So if you are someone that is anxious or on edge, your nervous system needs a little bit of a support. So essential oils are amazing at creating just calmness within the nervous system. So this helps us with sleep, and kind of keeps us out of that fight or flight mode, right? Which is much of the time, I see people all the time that I think they spend 23 hours a day in fight or flight mode. And I think we all know those people. So they have an effect when we use them both, internally and externally, particularly if you are needing support with anxiety, sleep, getting out of fight or flight mode. Pay attention particularly to frankincense, lavender, bergamot, and basil. Okay, these are going to be big ones to help you with your nervous system. So using these essential oils as a complement to, a healthy, balanced diet. I keep saying this, right? I can give you these oils till I'm blue in the face, but then if you go and live off McDonald's, that's not helpful for you. So, using those oils with, this balanced lifestyle, you will quickly notice a overall sense of just calmness, stability, reducing feelings of nervousness, which, I mean, at the end of the day, that affects your entire life, right? It's just as debilitating as a broken foot or a broken back, right? So there's an awesome YouTube video that I will also link up that it's a scientist talking about the importance and how you can use essential oils to help with sleep as well. I want to dial in specifically with anxiety and using essential oils. This is one of the number one things that I often speak with people about. Unfortunately, however, super proud of people for stepping up and acknowledging that this is real in our current culture. And that, it's something that can be super debilitating to live with. So kudos to you if you're saying, yep, this is me. Anxiety it's a disorder or imbalance of the nervous system, right? So it follows that targeting that this area is, it needs to be supported. It needs to be well-rounded. And if you're wanting to soothe symptoms of anxiety, concentrating specifically on your nervous system is going to be helpful for you. So feelings of anxiety can be caused from just a variety of different things, such as lack of sleep, poor diet, lack of routine, stressful lifestyle. And, you know, as we've already kind of discussed, essential oils are thought to be helpful with at least some of these symptoms, right? So it's not about, you know, what do I do when I have an anxiety attack? It's A, what is causing your anxiety attack? B, how did you sleep last night? C, what did you eat today? D, how much water did you drink? And how can you kind of prevent it from actually getting to that point where you're in midst of an attack, right? So essential oils like lavender are especially helpful in this area. Lavender is also, it's often considered as a nervous system restorative aid and can help just evoke sense of inner peace. Okay, and if you've used lavender, you can attest to this. If you've used real lavender, it also helps promote, you know, restful sleep, helps with feeling restless, irritable, again, panic attacks, nervous stomach, just general nervousness and tension. Okay, so as with many essential oils, it's, you know, it's not recommended to ingest lavender in large doses. However, it is safe to do in small quantities, but try, you know, in a veggie capsule taken with some food. But again, so beneficial just to even apply them topically to the bottom of the feet. I've had the odd person say, oh, I don't like the smell of lavender. Is that a thing? It's a thing. But this is where having them in a roller ball, so you don't have to touch it, rolling it on the bottom of your feet, putting some socks on, and you're golden. You don't have to smell it unless you want to put your face down by your feet. I also want to touch on another thing that, you know, is linked back to your immune system, and that specifically is nausea. Okay, and I want to hone in on ginger oil. This is a big one. I remember when I was pregnant with my daughters and was having some nausea. We'll put it that way, right, ladies? Having a wee bit of nausea, and you know, my physician just wanted to, you know, give me diclexin, which, you know, I was always of the mindset of, okay, I physically can only grow a person in my body for 9 months. So this is literally temporary. But I had to, you know, I was working, and I mean, with my second pregnancy, it was like I had a 1-year-old, you know, how do I at least function throughout the day, right? Ginger oil was a savior. So, you know, even being stuck with a bout of nausea, you know, at home where you can't leave the house or getting car sick, you know, how can you kind of get past that, right? Because it's not fun. Ginger root and ginger essential oil are thought to be effective in hugely aiding in this area. So when ingested with warm water, or as an ingredient to even an herbal tea, ginger essential oil absolutely helps soothe when it is ingested, because of the way it reacts to the acids within your stomach, right? So soothing through the ingestion of this, your internal organs are supported, right? And then if you're having something like nausea or upset stomach, it helps kind of offset the balance of the acids. Plus, it's an anti-inflammatory in itself. So if you were having any inflammation in there, it's going to support that as well. Okay, so I want to move on to our next system, and that's our respiratory system. So our respiratory system is ultimately responsible for the exchange of the elements from the internal to the external world and vice versa. Okay, so in general, it's understood in terms of oxygen intake and output of carbon dioxide. So the exchange of molecules, right? I'm breathing in whatever's in the air, I'm breathing in. Whatever goes both ways. That's why we say cover your cough. Whatever I have inside, and I breathe out or cough out or sneeze out or whatever, it's coming out, right? But this is where our respiratory system really, really needs to be supported. So the primary organs involved are the lungs. However, the skin is also should be included, as it is our biggest organ that helps remove toxins, right? And this is done, obviously, our skin takes in toxins as it soaks into our bodies. But then when we sweat, it lets go of toxins as well, right? So kind of goes both ways. Certain essential oils such as peppermint, eucalyptus, tea tree, lemon are highly effective at helping the respiratory system to function at its highest potential, as they encourage the expansion of the respiratory tracts, and they also help aid in clearing toxins such as mucus and damaging things that might be sucked in through your respiratory system. Because of the nature of the respiratory system, essential oils can have a very real impact when you're needing them. So, or when you're not wanting them as well. And I know if I walk into somebody's house and they have a plug-in or a candle, or if they've just cleaned with something, the struggle is real. And or just even the spray sunscreens or aerosol hairsprays. I mean, when you breathe those things in, you can feel it, right? But they can have, this is where essential oils can, because they're plants, can aid against these, right? So peppermint, for example, or the blend Easy Air, it's called Breathe as well. It's really noticeable. If you put a drop of that in your hand, rub your hands together, ingest, it absolutely helps it, because it helps to expand your airways and your nasal pathways. That is why these ones are the number one tools that are used when you're feeling congested. Peppermint specifically has just a multitude of other health benefits as well. So health-wise, peppermint has a direct and almost immediate effect on the respiratory system. So peppermint is also in that Easy Air blend that I spoke about. It boosts the expansion of your nasal passages and allows your body to take more oxygen in, because obviously blocked passages don't allow you to take in the most amount of oxygen. And it doesn't allow you to filter out those harmful products. So as a result, if you have increased oxygen levels, we end up feeling, overall just better health, right? We're going to move more for our circulatory system. We're going to be able to take deeper breaths, which is great for our respiratory system. And then these things are good for our overall energy, right? So if you are feeling sluggish, which is a big thing I talk to people about these days, it is okay. Let's not look at a quick fix on how to give you some energy. Although peppermint is a big one. I always recommend putting it with some wild orange. It smells unreal. But it's okay. How can you be proactive with that and really help to get down to the root of why you're feeling sluggish? So here's a little respiratory checklist. Okay, so the following essential oils are highly effective in helping to promote a healthy respiratory system. So if you were wanting to hone in on this, you are needing cedarwood, eucalyptus, lavender, peppermint, rosemary, and tea tree. Okay, the human body responds differently to each oil in a variety of different ways. So it's important to note that not all essential oils are ones that you necessarily want to ingest, right? But if you're unsure, you can take a look at doTERRA's. There's a super insightful article on ingesting oils, and I will link that up. I will link it up. If you are specifically, an athlete or a massage therapist, you have already tried the Deep Blue, right? So Deep Blue is an entire line of, there's the essential oil, the rub, the polyphenol, but many massage therapists and athletes are becoming very aware of the physical benefits of essential oils. So in addition to promoting an overall calmer disposition and balanced emotional state, which people obviously want, particularly if they're in a competitive sport, many of doTERRA's products are designed specifically with physical healing from injuries, right? So Deep Blue Rub is crazy awesome at giving you relief from aches and pains and sport-related injuries. It was my best friend this past weekend after shoveling like a madwoman. It also promotes antibacterial and antiviral properties as well, boosting the immune system and opening your pathways. It has peppermint in it, imagine. So while the rub is essentially absorbed through the skin and goes towards the problem areas, it's important to note that that one in particular, because it has wintergreen in it, you want to make sure that that is for external use only. But the muscle pain and tension relief is, it's awesome. But again, it's from a great blend of wintergreen, camphor, peppermint, ylang-ylang, helichrysum, blue tansy, blue chamomile, and osmanthus. It's also, it's great as it obviously is moisturizing. My husband used it like lotion. We go through about a tube a month. I'm dating an old man. I'm married to an old man. I guess I haven't dated him for 15 years, but that'd be good. So if you're hearing me talk about ingesting essential oils, you're feeling, not comfortable with this, I encourage you just to do your research and do your research with credible resources, because particularly, I find when people are hesitant to take essential oils internally, on the other end of the spectrum, they're not necessarily hesitant to consume other things. And they're, again, if I plopped a bag of McDonald's in front of you, would you be hesitant to consume that? Probably not, right? Because that's the way that we've been conditioned. But it's so much of it is unlearning, right? If I have, peppermint growing in my garden, I walk past that plant, I pluck it, I stick it in my mouth, and all those little pockets of essential oils that give it, that leaf, its flavor, are being ingested, right? If I put something on my skin, my largest organ, it's being ingested. So it's about, I love when people question things. I think it's amazing. I think we need to do more of it in our society. But I really want you to start questioning everything, okay? Because the more you start questioning all the other things, the more you start to go, oh, well, I just took that Tylenol for my headache and and then I ate out at whatever restaurant, or whatever. And then I came home to my plug-in and Febreze spray. And yet I'm really questioning these plants, right? So it's always this funny, back and forth. But I want to talk about indigestion right now. Speaking of something that gives me indigestion, your digestive health and essential oils might not, initially seem obvious, like there's an obvious link there. But many recent studies which focus on the gut-brain connection have actually proven that there's a direct correlation between your digestive health and your overall feelings of happiness and well-being. Okay, so this means that that indigestion and digestive disorders may actually increase your risk of developing mental health disorders such as anxiety and depression. Okay, that's huge findings, peeps, huge, right? And so if you are suffering anything with your nervous system, it's linking back to your gut as well. So pay attention to that. Many functional and natural health practitioners have turned to essential oils and other natural remedies to help ease digestive comfort and promote higher levels of happiness and well-being amongst their clients, okay? doTERRA has several natural oil products which will significantly significantly improve your digestion, and just boost your overall mood and happiness. Okay. So their line is, their oil is called Zengest. And then there's, Terrazyme, which is has digestive enzymes in it to help you digest your food. But just as, sensory organs are vital to our functionality and experiencing of the world around us, as they follow us around, they're taking in the information and the energy, right? Our digestive system serves as a means of elimination of the negative elements that we take in, right? So we talked about this last week where, there's only so many ways you're going to get rid of this stuff, right? We're going to sweat it out. It's going to come out through feces. It's going to come out through urine. And those functionalities are linked back up to our organs. So this means that your digestive system extracts, takes the positive elements from the food that we eat, and the things that we consume. And then the unwanted waste our body's like, get rid of it. Like, how cool is our body? It just does amazing things. So in this way, the digestive system is also, it's kind of a protective system, right? And it's important that, it ensures that we receive the right amount of nutrients from, the food we eat, the foods with higher density of nutrients. These are what allow us to receive more benefits, okay? And obviously those with less nutritional value are going to be expelled through our body. So essential oils can help with, discomfort associated with indigestion, as well as help get everything moving, right? And to be very clear, my daughter's not a pooper. And, I realized very early on in her life that, and I mean, just like with anybody, it's important to keep things moving. And so again, an essential oil blend like Zengest is awesome. Whether it is, you have kind of IBS symptoms, or you're on the other end of the constipated scale. There's actually a fascinating study on the benefits of essential oils with the digestive system, noting that thyme and rose, where they have these awesome constituents in them, they could be effective in suppressing pathogens in the small intestine with no concern for beneficial colonization of bacteria in the gut. Okay. So thyme and rose. So this means that ultimately that is supporting immune functionality in the digestive tract. Thyme and rose may help ease indigestion and allow more of a comfortable digestive process. Okay. Again, thyme and rose. We've already talked about those two oils. I love them. Let's get, part of our, just overall health and wellness, we automatically go to, okay, I have to make over my medicine cabinet, or I have to make over my cleaning cabinet. And we don't necessarily look at our personal care products. And this is so important. These are the things that we're using every single day, right? I can't say it definitely wasn't one of the first areas that I decided to make over. But if you're overwhelmed with thinking about your healthcare, very serious, or if you're overwhelmed with, cleaning products or diffusers or what do I do, a good bang for your buck is, you're going to buy shampoo anyways. So I either make my own, anything, whether it's body scrubs, serums, shampoos, conditioners, anything sunscreens, bug sprays, anything I put on my skin. But then there's certain things that I haven't made really good recipes of, like toothpaste. I just buy doTERRA's because I haven't made a good one that doesn't make me gag. Shampoo and conditioner. I just use doTERRA's, and their shampoo is actually my body wash. It's my kid's bubble bath as well. And I've honestly, my hair has never been longer, thicker, healthier. I wash my hair probably this is day 3 of no hair washing. And it's strong. My hair is really strong. Um, and it's good, I mean, for if you have color treated hair. Obviously, mine's not at all. I got something in my eye, sorry. In fact, doTERRA has, there's so many, their hair serum is really awesome. There's lots of different, if you're not up for making it yourself, because again, I promote DIY as much as possible because then you always know the exact ingredients. But if you can't make it yourself, if you're not up for making it yourself, just go into your wholesale account, load it up, and you're golden. Then there is, so I want to talk about your system that is, it's ultimately your skin, okay? This is a system all in itself. And many of us don't consider the skin when, we're accounting for the major organs in our body. Yet the skin is one of the most important organs, which has many protective, and as we were talking about, it excretes everything from our body as well. And it takes up a huge part of our protecting system. So that system is comprised of our hair, our skin, our nails, our glands, all of which have the primary interactions with the external world. Okay. So they protect our body from all of those dangers. And in the same breath, it's easily affected by toxins, artificial fragrances, pollutants, irritants, those sorts of things. And if our body's trying to tell us something, it typically comes out in our skin, right? So treating the hair, the skin, the nails with natural products like, essential oils helps just to maintain smoothness, brightness, overall feelings of good health and functionality. Oils like tea tree assist in cleansing the pores, keeping a clean complexion. It's my zit zapper whenever I feel a zit coming on. While jojoba oil is great as a carrier oil if you're using it on your face or on your skin. I love either jojoba oil or coconut oil. But if I'm going to use it on my face, I typically use jojoba oil. And, it just acts as an awesome moisturizer as well. Ylang-ylang, sandalwood, lavender, rose, all great options to use on your skin and nails. Just again, to be sure to dilute first to avoid any irritations. But even J-Lo, she says rose is her secret. Her biggest beauty secret. If you are looking for an awesome recipe, and I've posted this a few times this winter on a cleansing skin scrub, there are endless ways that and endless DIY recipes. But I love this skin scrub. It's 1 cup of sugar, half a cup of coconut oil, and then 20 drops of lemon, 10 drops of lavender, 10 drops of tea tree. Mix it all together in a bowl, and then even just transfer it to a mason jar. I would just go to the dollar store and buy the short jars. But let me know how you love this one because it's been a game changer. Usually my hands are, and I know especially when I was working at the hospital using hand sanitizer all the time, my skin was just my skin would be raw this time of year. On the other end of the spectrum, if you have really oily skin, naturally oily skin, which some people, might think that oily skin is a sign, to avoid using essential oils or adding oils into your, healthcare regime. There are actually certain oils that assist with excess oils within the skin and help to tighten pores and allow the shininess and oily skin to appear drier and make it a little bit more manageable. So, we've already talked about the respiratory and energizing effects of lemon oil, but did you know that when used topically on your skin, the astringent properties of the citrus oil keep oily skin fresh and clean? So taking this, and I use it more in the like spring going into summer is when my skin will get oily. I have both sets of skin, I guess. Take a couple drops and putting it on my face. It's worth noting that lemon essential oil is sun absorbent. So that's what we call photosensitive. So you want to avoid using it and then hanging out in the sun, okay? Because just like that lemon tree, this goes for any of your citrus oils, attracts that sun in order for it to thrive. You extract the essential oil from it, it's going to do the exact same thing, okay? So it is going to attract the sun. This is, if you're just getting started with using essential oils and you're going, gosh, she's talked a lot about lemon, lavender, and peppermint. There's actually a beginner's trio that you can get with 5 ml bottles of all of the lemon, lavender, and peppermint. It just those 3 oils, you're going to target specific aches and pains. It's going to help relieve feelings of anxiety. It's going to create, a brighter, more energetic home environment, boost skin and health, your hair, your nails, everything, right? So again, this might be something that you want to consider just even getting started with. And while we've, we're getting towards the end of our class here, your journey to having the most balanced, healthy, and happy life with essential oils, it's really just started. Okay. So even if you've stuck with me over the last 45 minutes, it's a seed is planted, right? And I can tell you with confidence, doTERRA's oils have been an amazing complement to this lifestyle that our family is thriving while living it. Okay. And so if you are looking to up level your health and really thrive every single day, I really encourage you to tap into that wellness pyramid, to really to look at your nutrition, your movement, your sleep and stress management, being proactive with your healthcare, self-care, doing simple things like drinking lemon in your water, okay? If you are interested in any of the resources that I've talked about today, I will link them up in the chat box. Feel free to post on them. But I want to take this opportunity to just thank you for spending this time with me. I really hope that you've gotten some good tools to help you further your understanding of essential oils so that you can maximize them and move forward. Again, there's no point in you even buying essential oils if they're just going to sit there on your counter. Okay. As always, I'm always available for your questions. So you can leave them in the feed below or feel free to inbox me. But I'm here to help. If you need to get it set up with your wholesale account as well, you can go to mydoterra.com/proactive essential health and hook yourself up there. I hope you have had such an awesome time learning, and happy Monday. Have an awesome week, you guys. See ya.